Hello students, in today's video let us discuss about geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is the energy present as heat inside Earth's crust. So if we look at the cross section of Earth, the interior layers of the Earth, broadly we can see that there is three layers. One is the Earth's crust, inside which we have mantle, and finally inside we have the core, which is one part is solid and the outer part is molten. Now the crust is of two types. We have continental crust where the continents are present, and then we have the oceanic crust which are the parts where sea is situated. Now the thickness of the crust will vary depending on whether it's a continent or an ocean. And beneath this continent, this crust, between this mantle and crust, often we have a layer called asthenosphere. And in this layer, we have very molten lava present. Often when volcanoes are erupted, the lava from the asthenosphere are projected out to crust part. So we know there is a lot of heat energy contained within the earth. And if we are able to trap that energy properly, we will be able to utilize it for various purposes. We can see that on an average, approximately at a depth of 10 kilometers, the temperature is around 200 degrees Celsius, and such a large temperature is sufficient to generate heat energy for the purposes of people. Now, some of the spots on Earth are called hot spots when we consider the geothermal energy. Maybe you have heard about plate tectonics, which assumes that the crust part is not continuous. It's actually composed of various plates. And these plates move apart, and that study is called plate tectonics. And at the boundaries of these plates, we have active volcanoes present, and these red parts are the regions where the plates are ending. And as a result, there is direct contact between the inner layers from where large amount of heat energy will be supplied onto the surface of the earth. And circulating water through these regions, when rise to the surface, various natural phenomena like hot springs, geysers, etc. happen at the earth's surface. Maybe you have heard about these kinds of hot springs occurring naturally in various places. So particularly in these red hotspot regions, we can see these kinds of natural phenomena. So this trapping of this geothermal energy is a good way to generate heat and other useful forms of energy. So this is a picture from where you can see steam is being ejected from the Earth's surface. So the inside regions are so hot that they heat up water to generate steam, and finally they eject through various parts of the earth, especially in these hotspot parts. Now, in order to utilize the geothermal energy, we have three different systems. One is direct use for heating, second is geothermal heat pumps, and finally the electricity generation using various power plants. So in the direct using, we know we use the hot water directly from the underground. So the groundwater that are near to these hot regions will be automatically warmer, and we take up this water for delivery, and after that the cold water is often supplied back for refilling. Since the underground is hotter compared to the atmosphere, we can have a continuous supply of heated water. In areas where the underground are warmer due to activities inside the earth, this kind of direct usage can be used. So without the use of any external supply of energy, we are having a continuous supply of heated water. In the case of geothermal heat pumps, we use pumps to heat up a building. Finally, the geothermal energy trapped within the underground is used up to heat up the building. So you can see here a heat pump is placed, and the water is being circulated through the underground part. And normally the temperature of the earth 15 feet, about 10 feet below the ground, is normally at a temperature 10 degrees Celsius to 15 degrees Celsius. So these regions are normally not very reactive to outer temperature changes. So in warm conditions, this region inside the earth will be somewhat cooler, and when winter is happening in the atmosphere, this place will be somewhat warmer. So this means that the temperature variations in the outside world can be controlled by using the heat energy of this underground part. The heat pumps transfer heat from the ground into the building during winter, and the process is reversed during summer season. So a constant temperature can be maintained inside a house just like it is in the underground region during every season. Often we use loops of metallic pipe buried under the ground to do this process. So you know, when we use loops, maximum heat transfer takes place. So this continuous supply is made through numerous loops so that heat can be properly transferred with the underground as well as with the building. Now, in certain cases, electric pumps will be used to circulate liquid through this pipe for a more efficient heat transfer. And the third kind of system is the electricity generation using power plants. The electricity generation using geothermal energy in power plants. So as you can see here, hot water from the underground region will be taken up, and if the system is very efficient, this can be taken as steam, and this steam can be used to generate electricity, and further the cool down steam, which is water, is injected back into the well. Normally heat energy available from 4 to 10 km below the surface are used for this electricity production. 4 to 10 km below the surface, and the temperature is required to be about 150 degrees Celsius so that the steam will be obtained from it and heat and electricity can be generated. There are actually 3 different types of electricity generation power plants based on geothermal energy. They are dry steam, flash and binary plants. In dry steam, from the well we get the steam directly, and this steam is used to turn a turbine which will generate electricity, and the water is fed back into the well itself. In the case of a flash type steam power plant, as you can see here, from the hot water, flashes of steam are generated as indicated in this figure, and these flashes of steam will turn the turbine to generate electricity. So high pressure water comes up in the production well, and part of the liquid is boiled to form steam which comes in flashes, and after this flash is ejected, the pressure will be reduced. Effectively, they will have a rotation of turbine and electricity generation. Now, in the third type of power plant, which is a binary cycle power plant, we have 2 different liquids. Normally, the water, which is the hot water coming from the underground, is used to heat up another heat exchanger liquid, which will deliver heat into the turbine, which will be used to turn the turbines. This is usually done when the temperature obtained from the underground region is not that high. In that case, we cannot generate steam directly. Then we will use another heat exchanger liquid which has very low boiling point, and then the system is made to work. But the system will be very inefficient because of this low temperature performance. And these are the 3 different types of geothermal power plants. So the various advantages of geothermal power plants and disadvantages can be understood from this discussion. Just go through various advantages and disadvantages of geothermal energy, and also try to find various areas where we get this geothermal energy across the world as well as in India. I hope this portion is clear for you. Thank you.